Review AC, here we go. So fill in the first 3 months of this amortization table for a house valued at $225. There's a down payment. We've got our interest rate and the years. And so we need this to get a table rate. Remember that. So to find the payment, we just go 225 minus 55,000. There may not be a down payment in the future, but if there is one, you subtract it. And this table rate is 617. You get that from the pink chart that I gave you. And so the actual mortgage is 170,000. Okay, that's how much you're borrowing. You multiply it by this, you get 1,048.90. Are we good there? Okay. So you would get a mark for this right here. You get a mark already. And then we fill in the rest. So the very initial unpaid balance is 170,000, and the equity is the down payment you've made. Equity is what you own, the part of the house you own. That is one of the biggest advantages of buying a home, that you build equity, because not only are you paying into it, it's also increasing in value, so it's growing even faster than this number here. Okay. Okay. First pay. This is obviously 1,048.90. If you like full marks, if that's what you strive for, put a $ on every amount on this chart. Today we won't take marks off, but on the test or anything I give you, make sure you have a $ on every single one in here. Interest. This is a blank one. We have to calculate it. So I take 170,000. This is going to be very tight. And multiply it by 0.0425, and I divide that by 12. This is the interest for the first month formula. And that gives you 60208. You get a mark for that one. That number is very important to us. And then to get the principal, you just subtract these two, and I will just tell you that that's 446.82. And then this number we subtract from the original mortgage, and then we get 169,553.18. Sorry, 169,553.18. That's what that is. And here you would add 446.82. So this is 55,446.82. You add the principal to the equity because it starts increasing. Then you take this number and repeat this process here. You use the same formula, except for this is going to be that number right there. You get 600.50. Okay? That's also worth a mark. And then you subtract, so that'd be 448.40, and then you subtract from this, you get 169,104.78, and you add these two together to give you 55,895.22. And so here's what I'm going to tell you with the marks that are associated. These cells, they're worth a full mark because you have to do, right? You have to use the formula. Then I would give you half a mark for this. So for the first row, I give you half a mark there, half a mark there, and half a mark for every other cell, right? So then it's 1 again, and it's 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And obviously you're not going to get 0 if you fill this in, right? So chances are you made a mistake way upstream, and then I would check whether or not everything after follows your initial mistake. If that's the case, you might actually score almost, right, like 3 out of 4 or 4 or 5. But we have right now, this would be 3, 4, 5. So just for simplicity's sake, we're going to make this chart worth 5 marks today. And so you put a mark down out of 5 there, and we get a mark for the payment itself. So that's separate from the 5 that I attribute to the table. So 6 marks for question 1, basically, for that whole thing. So copy that down, or at least write this number down somewhere here so you know that that's what you're supposed to get if you want to redo it. Okay. Next, the Slims are currently residing in a house in area 3. You know what? I would say it's not being very specific as to do they own it or do they rent it. They're residing. So that's my bad, but it should be specific. Are you renting? Are you owning? We're going to assume that we're owning here. That's the price, so we know we're over. When it's owning, you don't. If you notice that this is over 200K, it's going to be extra work, okay? And you would like to purchase insurance with a comprehensive policy, $500 deductible. That tells me I don't need to worry about the 1.1 or 1.10 multiplication at the end, okay? And I apologize, I actually spent some time today and got rid of all the after taxes on all my ACs. So if you retake the course with me next semester, there won't be there anymore. But you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to retake it just for that. So insurance, you need to go get it, right? You need a table like this. And we're in area 3, comprehensive. So area 3, we max out. This gets you to 200K. So 799 and then 391. I'll remember those numbers. Okay. So this insures you for the first 200K. You still need an additional 75K worth of insurance. So you need to write down 75,000, and that's 391 for every $1,000 of extra insurance you need. Okay, that's what it looks like. This part right here, we don't worry about because it's a $500 deductible policy. So you get one for this, one for this. Okay, so that cleans up to $799, and then this part gives you $293.25. You add that up, you get $1,092.25. So another mark for computing this correctly and getting your final answer. If you added taxes, today we won't worry about it because I misled you, okay? That's just it. But please don't worry about taxes with insurance anymore. Okay. So this page is worth 6 and 3, that's 9. 9 for this page. Backside. Is this copy paste from your notes? I'm not sure. I have a feeling yes. But the Abdullah family owns a home with a portioned assessed value of $177,750. Okay? What does that mean? I don't need to, it's already the portioned assessed value, I don't need to multiply that by 0.45. And it also doesn't mention anything about that in the question, so don't do it, right? The municipal mill rate, I'm going to use a different color for that one. Right, there's a municipal mill rate of that, and there's the education mill rate. It's a different color yet of that. The frontage is 45 feet. That's important. The family is charged a local improvement tax for water mains repairs. Okay, we're going to figure that out later. So here we go. Calculate the total property taxes including local improvements. So you decide. I'm going to do municipal. Municipal tax. I take the portioned assessed value and I multiply that by that mill rate. Okay guys, if there were 5 mill rates in this question, let's just talk about it. If I give you 5 mill rates, you would literally have to do 5 calculations. For every mill rate, you multiply it by the portioned assessed value. That's crazy, Mr. Dirksen. Why would that ever happen? There have been 3 mill rates in the past. 2 for education, 1 for municipal. Because some municipalities split the education into 2 different portions. I don't know why. But that's what you would do. So that's the municipal. I'll do that in a bit. Then there's the education tax, I take my portion assessed value again, I multiply it by a mill rate. By the way, I have a mill rate for it, yeah, so I need to calculate it. And improvements would be 45 feet times whatever it is for water mains. I did not give you that rate, so you have to go and get it. Water mains is 1154. It's on the back of your booklet. 1154 for every foot. So we'll figure that out. So technically, my property tax is just going to be adding up these three numbers. I don't have any credits. So this is just adding, no subtracting whatsoever. So I'll just give you the numbers here to save us some time. So municipal taxes would be 1673.52. The education taxes would be 2650.07. And the improvement gives you 519.30. So obviously you get a mark for each one of these. And then you'll get one more mark for adding them all up. So total, minus any credits, which there aren't any, would be 4,842.89 cents. That's another mark right there. So in this case, no discount, no credit. Only one improvement. It could be that in the future, I just give you the education taxes like that. Don't be multiplying that by the mill rate or anything like that. That is it. It's avoiding all of this work here. Okay? So that's that. And then blast from the past. Okay, a triangle has side measures. So 3 sides given. Side, 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 right? What is that? Cosine law, right? You want the largest angle. So just draw yourself a triangle. I don't care what it looks like. 1.2, 1.7, 2.5. Right, in this case, for my particular diagram, it's over here. You can call that A if you want. Because across the longest side, that's where the largest angle is going to be located. So you would have to use cosine of A like this. There's plus and minus, right? Remember that this is the side that is across the angle you're trying to find. So this should be 2.5 squared. And then you grab the other two and just plug them in. And it's 2 times 1.2 times 1.7. Do the top. You get negative 1.92. What does that mean? A negative means an obtuse angle, right? You can't see that, sorry. The negative tells me is this bigger than 90. Okay. So angle A is going to be cosine inverse. When I divide this, I get negative 0.4705, and that keeps going. Angle A is therefore 118.07 degrees. Okay. So I will do this. I'll give you 1 mark for setting it up and cleaning it up, and then another mark for finding the angle. So if you miss the negative, you're going to get an acute angle. You still get 1 out of 2. Okay? You just missed that negative. You still get 1 out of 2 if you use cosine law. This page is worth 6. So 9 and 6, that's 15 total. So you go to the top here, cross off the 13. Just make sure your name and last name is on there.